She's an Assad toady.
What does that mean?
She is
What's a toady?
I think that I used that word correctly. Jamie, can you check what toady means?
I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber.
When people see bots and things and all the things.
My immediate reaction was hilarious.
So
Really? All right, so tonight we're going to be taking a look at Tulsi Gabbard's critics. They are some ridiculous people.
Gabbard is like this walking Christmas tree of warning lights.
What the fuck? It's great. So we've got Debbie Wasserman Schultz, been in Congress for decades, and in all of that time, she never figured out how to comb her hair.
Tulsi Gabbard is someone who has met with... Tulsi Gabbard is someone who has...
What's going on with those eyes? Did y'all see that? What is that? Is that like a sign? Is that some kind of Morse code? Are you being forced to make this video? I do not believe what I'm actually saying. Seriously, this woman is a politician. She's in the public eye. Her appearance is very important as a politician and someone who is on camera a lot. And this, I'm sorry, this is the best that she could do. Looking like some kind of scarecrow or, you know, crackhead that just came out of the Tenderloin district. I don't know. I mean, who am I to judge?
Tulsi Gabbard is someone who has met with war criminals. She's considered to be essentially, by most assessments, a Russian asset, and would be the most.
Is that how you
dangerous...
consider her? Is that what you consider her?
Oh yes, there's no question. I consider her someone who is likely a Russian asset, who would.
Oh yes. Oh yes. But this robot is malfunctioning. I don't know what's going on here. And in a little while, smoke's going to start coming out from the strain of it all. Former chairwoman of the DNC. So impressive.
Well, you consider her?
Oh yes, there's no question. I consider her someone who is likely a Russian asset, who would be as the DNI responsible for managing our entire intelligence community, hold all of our most significant intelligence information and secrets, and essentially would be a direct line to our enemies. And so I
She's going to be a direct line to our enemies? Holy shit, dude.
And so the irresponsibility of these appointments. And let me not suggest that all of his appointments so far have been irresponsible. Marco Rubio and I.
Marco Rubio. Oh yeah, well, I mean, they're not all bad. I mean, Marco Rubio, and that exemplary statesman he is. Next we have Nikki Haley, everyone's favorite warmonger. And she just came out in the last 24 hours bashing Tulsi.
Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence. Now, everybody loves that she is now saying she's a Republican. DNI, Department of National Intelligence. This is not a place for a Russian, Iranian, Syrian, Chinese sympathizer.
Whoa. They just love to load those words up like fixings on a baked potato. Just load it all up. We don't care if it's bullshit or makes sense or it's accurate. But I think that Haley, her real issue with Tulsi is that Tulsi comes across cool, calm, and collected.
I've served as a member of Congress now for almost 7 years, receiving high-level national security and intelligence briefings, serving on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Armed Services Committee, the Homeland Security Committee, working to ensure the safety and security of the people of this country.
By the way, let me just say, that is a hell of a lot of shit that Tulsi Gabbard has done. If anyone in our government really seriously thought that she was some kind of Russian asset or dictator's pawn, she wouldn't be doing all of that high-level shit, and she wouldn't still be a commissioned lieutenant colonel in the reserves.
DNI has to analyze real threats.
Oh, now here we're back to Nikki Haley. We have to analyze real threats. Well, do you know what to Nikki Haley is an existential threat to our country? It's TikTok. So you want to see Nikki Haley now? You've seen the cool, calm, collected Tulsi Gabbard. Now you want to see Nikki Haley having a meltdown over TikTok, losing her fucking marbles?
This is infuriating because TikTok is one of the most dangerous social media apps that we could have. And what you've got, I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say because I can't believe that here you've got a TikTok situation. What they're doing is these 150 million people are on TikTok.
This is
China
very important
knows
for our party.
exactly what they're
This
doing.
is very important for our party, and I'm going to say
you've gone and you've helped China make medicines in China, not America. You're now wanting kids to go and get on the social media that's dangerous for all of us. You went and you were in business with the Chinese that gave Hunter Biden $5 million. We can't trust you. We can't trust you. We can't have TikTok in our kids' lives.
This is very important, Mr. Rumley. One thing that Joe Biden.
How can you talk that way to Vivek? I just don't understand. She's losing her marbles.
Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people have, I mean, she has no idea what the hell the names of those provinces are, but she wants to send our sons and daughters and our troops and our military equipment to go fight it. It takes an outsider to see this through. Look at the blank expression. She doesn't know the names of the provinces that she wants to actually fight.
Oh, that is that moment when you realize that you have lost that portion of the debate. Well, okay, y'all, this one is maybe the biggest what the fuck of them all. And it shocked me because I thought that this lady, Bari Weiss, was smarter than this. This is on Joe Rogan. He's just asked her what she thinks of Tulsi Gabbard. That pretty much sets the tone for the rest of her comments.
Monstrous.
Monstrous?
Ideas. She's an Assad toady.
What does that mean?
She is
What's a toady?
I think that I used that word correctly. Jamie, can you check what toady means?
My
Like
God.
towing the line? Is that what it means?
No, I think it's like a Toadie.
Oh my God, this is so painful.
What does that mean?
So she's just made this ridiculous pronouncement, which obviously is unsupported by any rationale other than she just heard it somewhere and she's parroting it. And you can see by the way she sort of is like confused. And then they get on this sidetrack about the word and what the word means. And she's so like absorbed in whether or not she got the word right definitionally that she's missing the boat on what Rogan was actually getting at, which was that I think what you're saying is fucking crazy. But no, she's just off on this pedantic, egotistical rabbit hole of like, oh my God, I hope I didn't get the word's definition wrong.
I think it means what I think it means.
Definition of toadies. A person who
sycophant,
flatters or defers to others.
I got it right. I got it right. See? Yeah, that. Yeah, that wasn't the point, lady. The point was that what you said about Tulsi was fucking absurd.
So she's an Assad sycophant. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's that's known.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like the worst thing that someone of any intelligence can say is, well, it's like, it's known. It's, you know, it's known knowledge, people. It's known knowledge. I don't have to explain it. It's self-evident or a priori, if you will. This is sad. This is really sad. She should get this thing scrubbed from the fucking internet.
Like, what did she say that
we have to look.
her?
I don't remember the details.
We probably should say that before we say that about her. We should probably read it rather.
Rogan.
Well, I have read it.
No, I mean, we should right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just so we know what she said.
Look up
I've had her
Tulsi
on
Gabbard.
here before.
Look
and
up
I really enjoyed talking to her. I like her a lot.
Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot to. Here's what happened, Joe. Is like actually, I didn't know we were going to be talking about Tulsi, and I forgot to read her entry on Wikipedia. So if you could just get Jamie to pull up her Wikipedia, so I can read it really quick, and then I'll know what's going on. Okay, thank you.
I don't know about.
I think she's like the motherlode of bad ideas.
Whoa.
Motherlode sounds like something like in a dirty porno or something. Okay.
Pretty positive about that, especially on Assad, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think I'm wrong.
Pretty bad. So, okay, on to the next critic.
I think that Tulsi Gabbard's nomination to be Director of National Intelligence, when I first heard that today, my immediate reaction was hilarious.
Why?
She's totally not competent for that job.
So this dude is John Bolton. He's a hardcore neocon. Let's look and see if Bolton is a credible opinion here. I'd like to see what else he's said in the past.
Former UN ambassador recently calling a preemptive strike in North Korea perfectly legitimate.
I don't think there are any further diplomatic options in terms of trying to persuade North Korea to change its behavior. Our objective should be to...
I don't think there are any other options really than us just blowing them the fuck away. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we've exhausted all of our options when it comes to every country that we have a problem with. Let's just blow everyone away. I'm John Bolton. It's John Bolton ASMR. Blow him away. Blow him away. What do y'all think? Some ASMR there to relax you a little bit. John Bolton, you know, getting a little too hot and bothered there with all that warmongering talk. Okay.
Our objective should be to overthrow the regime in Tehran. The Israelis should have struck about 3.5 years ago.
You've written an op-ed today in the New York Times, and here's the headline. It's an eye-catcher. To stop Iran's bomb Iran.
The earlier you strike, the more damage you can do.
Oh, we got two singers there. It's the next Tupac Shakur, I'm telling you. Stop Iran's bomb Iran. Seems like a completely level-headed guy, the kind of person that we would want heading up our military or defense agencies or intelligence agencies, right? Tulsi is the one to be concerned about. Tulsi's the unpredictable one. Tulsi's the extreme one. Next up, we have another recent critic of Tulsi Gabbard. I don't have an interview clip with him about it because he criticized her on Twitter, but we do have this clip from an interview with him a while back. This was on the 10th anniversary of the Iraq War that he and other neocons like John Bolton and William Kristol championed, turned out to be disastrously wrong about. In fact, this is considered one of the biggest foreign policy disasters and misjudgments in U.S. history. And so this is what this weasel had to say 10 years after the fact.
All right, so 10 years later, was the war a blunder?
10 years later, the war was a prize that cost more than the prize was worth, I think. And yet
so the answer is yes, it was a blunder.
It was certainly, when you say that, I don't want to deny that we have important benefits from the war that also have to be put into the mix, and it's easy to lose sight of those.
Nouri al-Maliki's regime in Baghdad is pretty much aligned with Iran right now.
Well,
that was never in your vision.
That was certainly not in my vision.
Yeah, a lot wasn't in your vision, was it? Uh-oh, here she is. Ba, 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 ba. Yes, it's Darth Vader, Hillary Clinton. She was the original Tulsi Gabbard hater. This was years ago. Watch this bullshit.
Any predictions, but I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming her to be the third-party candidate. She's the favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far. That
sounds rock solid, whatever you're trying to say there, Hillary Clinton. As she struggles for words and struggles to put something together that'll sound halfway plausible.
Assuming Jill Stein will give it up, which she might not, because she's also a Russian asset.
Russian assets are there? Let me get it straight. Trump was a Russian asset. Tulsi Gabbard, Russian asset. Jill Stein, Russian asset. Oh my God, we are just surrounded by Russian assets everywhere. By the way, Tulsi Gabbard went on The View to call out Hillary Clinton for this. And of course, the ladies on The View, with the exception of Meghan McCain, were lining up to defend Hillary Clinton.
So
Really?
Are you surprised, though, that when people see bots and things and all the things that we've sort of been seeing heading you away?
What the fuck does that mean? These people can't even talk. She has no idea what she's talking about. Well, so when you see these bots and things heading your way, what the fuck does that even mean? Bots heading your way?
That people have these questions, because she's not the only one. Hillary, I don't think, is the only one. So
no, she is actually.
What she's saying is she feels they are grooming you. You're saying nobody's grooming me. I'm doing what I'm doing because...
No, but we have... You can see also Tulsi Gabbard, the expression on her face. It's so clear the way she's looking at it is what the fuck am I doing here with these ridiculous, vacuous bitches? Yeah, so Hillary Clinton started this shit. And again, I think it's just useful to go back and look at Hillary Clinton's record and her judgments over the years when it comes to foreign policy decisions.
No, but we have 100,000 people dead in Iraq because of that war that we started. We invaded. We did the war. We were the war. And then you went into Libya and you supported regime change.
That's a very different
Well, why do you keep wanting to do these things of regime change? What's in your thinking that says the United States government has some right and duty to go to Middle Eastern countries and knock off their leadership?
Well, you know,
and I think you were more aggressive when knocking off Bashir Assad too.
well, let me tell you what I believe.
So, I mean,
Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
Yeah. And then the country descended into chaos. Okay, so I died. Yeah. And Tulsi Gabbard is the unhinged one. Tulsi Gabbard is the one we need to be worrying about. I think that one of the reasons Hillary Clinton resents Tulsi Gabbard is because Hillary Clinton has for decades had to strive so hard to fake her way into leadership credibility. And to seem tough. And in fact, that's why she made that huge mistake of voting for the Iraq war. And that's why she has through the years been such a war hawk and a warmonger. Whereas Tulsi Gabbard exudes strength naturally without having to, I don't know, vote for endless wars. This is a reel of Tulsi Gabbard doing some kind of, I don't know, army looking shit. And I don't know exactly what all of it is, but it's impressive as hell. And ain't no way Hillary Clinton could last for 30 seconds on this kind of a range. But the other night on my live stream, we watched some clips of Tulsi Gabbard doing her thing, and I was damn impressed. Get him, Tulsi, yeah.
The words of James Cleveland's great freedom hymn. I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy.
That's what she would aspire to be, Miss I'm tough, I'm woman, hear me roar, can't keep me down, can't nobody take my pride, can't nobody hold me down. It's a little for you. But in fact, the sad reality for Hillary Clinton is that, like, I don't know what was going on in the 2016 election, but when she had that episode of like stumbling around and then collapsing outside of an event and having to be hurriedly packed in and whisked away in this getaway van so that no one could see whatever was ailing her that particular time. Yeah, she ain't even in the same room with Tulsi Gabbard.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
I mean, I still don't know what the fuck that was. I just have to say. She's certainly not doing these triathlons or whatever like Tulsi Gabbard. So, you know, she's jealous. I get it, Hillary. But that doesn't give you the right to go around calling someone a Russian asset. So, look, at this point, you might be saying, okay, Kurtz, I get it. These people that are criticizing Tulsi Gabbard, they're all a bunch of losers. Yeah, that is actually my main message. But you might be saying to me, okay, but seriously, like, what is up with Tulsi Gabbard's unconventional beliefs about certain things? Or what is up with some of the questions that she's been asking? Or why did she go to Syria and speak with Assad? What is her deal with the war in Ukraine? Well, maybe we take a look here and let Tulsi speak for herself.
Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii announced today that she and former Congressman Dennis Kucinich of Ohio traveled to Syria and met Syrian President Bashar al-Assad.
But really, I think the focus has to be on defeating our enemy, defeating ISIS. And one of the biggest problems that's getting in the way of that right now is this illegal, counterproductive war to overthrow the Syrian government of Assad. Well, first of all, there's not been a vote in Congress to authorize the use of force, to authorize a war to overthrow a sovereign government. For as long as I've been there, that hasn't happened. It didn't happen before I got there. So the American people haven't had a choice to speak their voice, to approve or disapprove such a war. Therefore, it's illegal. Secondly, it is counterproductive because right now, U.S. arms are getting into the hands of our enemy, Al-Qaeda, al-Nusra, these other groups, Islamic extremist groups who are our sworn enemy. These are groups who attacked us on 9/11 and who supposedly we're trying to defeat, yet at the same time supporting them with these arms. Here's something you are not going to hear on the mainstream media. What you do hear is warmongers arguing that we must protect Ukraine because it is a quote-unquote democracy. But they're lying. Ukraine isn't actually a democracy. For example, to hold on to power, Ukraine's president shut down the 3 TV stations that were openly criticizing him and his policies, imprisoned the head of the opposition political party that had come in second place in their elections, and went and arrested and jailed that party's leaders. This is exactly what Putin has been accused of doing. But Ukraine did this all with the support of the United States. Also, this has been the problem in U.S. foreign policy from our leaders for so long is they are not actually thinking clearly, if they're thinking at all, about what is our goal? What is our objective?
Wow, she sounds so unhinged. Doesn't she? Just completely unhinged, right? And look, the truth is, what Tulsi Gabbard stands for is very much in the vein of what Dwight Eisenhower said in his final address to the nation.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Also, there's a lot of resentment about the fact that Tulsi Gabbard has done what a number of politicians refuse to do, which is grow. And the fact that she was never able to fit neatly in the Democratic Party, that got her a lot of shit. And even today, a lot of people in the party resent it.
Spends full time during the course of this campaign, again, criticizing the Democratic Party.
No, I'm not going to put party interests first. I will put the interests of the American people above all else.
I want to brief.
Oh, you criticize Democrats too much. They resent the fact that Tulsi Gabbard has always been on trend or ahead of trend, politically speaking. And Tulsi Gabbard, whether you like it or you don't like it, she was really, really smart to take the political turn that she's taken. And I think it's entirely genuine. And meanwhile, you've got spoiled, overpaid journalists like Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, who look like the Walking Dead after this last election, having to crawl to Mar-a-Lago, tails tucked between their legs, to see if Trump will deign to see them so they can try to claw themselves back from the ratings hole that they've plummeted into almost overnight after Trump's election. And we get this video from them looking like some kind of a fucking hostage video. I mean, look at this. Look at these two. Look at this pair.
Over the past week, Joe and I have heard from so many people, from political leaders to regular citizens, deeply dismayed by several of President-elect Trump's cabinet selections, and they are scared. Last Thursday, we expressed our own concerns on this broadcast and even said we would appreciate the opportunity to speak with the president-elect himself. On Friday, we were given the opportunity to do just that. Joe and I went to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with President-elect Trump. It was the first time we have seen him in 7 years.
We just want you to understand, we don't normally do this. You know, it's kind of like a one night stand. You're having sex with somebody on the first date or the first time you meet them, and you're like, I want you to know that I never do this. I haven't done this in 7 years. Please, please, please. This is totally out of character for us. We just had to do this because we're worried about our ratings and that intern that Joe may or may not have killed. I don't think he did. Okay, it's a joke.
Him in 7 years.
But look, Mika cannot help herself there, dude. Look at this. Defiance. That's telling you what she really thinks. Don't you know they hate that they're having to go grovel to Trump now? I hope that you see now more than ever how superior Tulsi Gabbard is to all of these cretins. We're going to take you out here with one of Tulsi Gabbard's best debate moments.
The answer is unacceptable. We are no better off in Afghanistan today than we were when this war began.
But the reality of it is, if the United States isn't engaged, the Taliban will grow. We have got to have some presence there.
The Taliban was there long before we came in. They'll be there long before we leave.
Well,
we cannot keep U.S. troops deployed to Afghanistan thinking that we're going to somehow squash this Taliban that has been there, that every other country that's tried
I didn't say squash them. When we weren't in there, they started flying planes into our buildings. So I'm just saying right now,
The
we have an
Taliban didn't attack us on 9/11. Al-Qaeda did.
Well,
Al-Qaeda
I
attacked us on
understand.
9/11.
I understand.
That's why I and so many
I
other people
I
joined the military to go
I
after
understand
Al-Qaeda,
that.
not
The Taliban.
What a dumbass he is. And this is what I love. This is the Tulsi look. I'm going to start calling this expression the Tulsi. This is a self-satisfied look that she gets when she knows that she is debating an idiot and that she clearly has trounced them and they don't know it because they're still like clucking. And she's like, you're done. And everybody can see it. This is the look, people. This is the look. And it is glorious.